Hello everyone and welcome to another web design tutorial. And as I had said yesterday, this would be a web design tutorial, and this time we'd move forward more rather than just fix mistakes or supposed mistakes um, that I had made. So today, actually I will keep that comment there. Today, step one will be okay, basically, if we go over here, we click run, and we let Firefox start itself. Why the heck do you need index PHP libraries if it's a normal .html file and does not have PHP in it anywhere? Anyway, so far we have this. It's actually not that bad. You guys still haven't commented on whether or not I should change this any. So I probably won't, because it's just another thing you guys can learn is how to do that. So I probably will not. I really like how we shaped these. I'd say we could do better on one thing though. You guys are about to find out what that is. So we'll have to go into our style sheet class. Once we're in our style sheet class, we can scroll up and we can find our wrapper. In this, actually, we need, no, in our wrapper, we're going to do something, okay. I don't know if I've said this before, but CSS and HTML are very, very repetitive, especially when you're making a single theme, because you want your theme to look, you want it to have some kind of like unity, something that meshes it all together. And so you'll usually have to type a lot of stuff over and over and over again. So a lot of times you'll find it easier to just copy and paste something. It is easier almost every time, but you do have to change some variables around. Now let me explain what we're doing as I actually delete this. So save, even though it won't change anything. So you guys see we have a nice drop shadow on this, drop shadow on the nav, drop shadow even on these little sub boxes, and a drop shadow inside these. So if all of this is happening, and I actually just thought of something that we can do that will make even this look better. Yeah, we'll probably do that. Actually, that's what we'll do first, before we move on to the wrapper part. Go to nav li here, and just box shadow inset. For the X, we'll just leave it at 0. For Y, we actually want to move it, I think we'll have to move it down 2 pixels, and then 2 pixels, 0, black. I'll explain what we're typing there in a minute, even though I've already explained this hundreds of times. Yes, it did in fact work, but there's one thing I really want to change, and what the heck, why is that? Oh, that's why. Okay, well, we'll want this to have okay. Anyway, okay, so I'm actually going to explain before we fix it some more. I'm going to explain what I'm doing. First off, I can actually remove that. Cut this, guys. Move it down to nav li hover inside here. Not nav li ul li hover. So what we're doing is in the nav li, which if we go to our hierarchy here, we see we have body ul, which is named nav, and when we go in here, remember you index IDs with a number character, a pound symbol, and then the name of it. So pound nav, so ID nav. Inside of that, we look for every list component, and every list component inside of nav will do whatever we're saying inside here, or inside here. But then we have nav liul, so every list or every ul inside of the li's. So basically, only when a ul is inside of a list item. I don't really know what UL stands for. I think it's unordered list or something. Uh, that's when you do this, but you don't apply it to just any UL. It has to have the parent of LI. And then down here, you're applying this to every LI that's within a UL that's within an LI, which is within nav. So only these LIs, not all LIs inside nav. I hope that kind of makes sense. So in every LI inside of nav, we're going, when it's hovered over it, we're going to add this box shadow, which is inset, meaning it's inside. It is offset by 0 for the X, offset by the Y coordinate by 2, and then it's 2 pixels blur, 0 pixels thickness, I guess, and then its color is black. So now if we save this and we refresh, when we hover over this, you can see hopefully a faint like shadowing here. I hope you guys can see that. Can't really think of a way I can make it better. I apologize. So now I want to do something else to this little drop down menu, and instead of having this shadow just kind of cut off, and actually I want to do one more thing. We're going to go over here, and if you guys notice, I've been making the shadow kind of look like it's coming from the top right, just a little bit. Okay, so up here, see, we have the drop shadow only along this side, and I can't really hover off of it, but right there. And then you'll see it's kind of bright here, because light's hitting it here, and then darker here, giving the illusion that this is concave. Okay? So we're going to continue with our illusion, and that means we have to move our drop shadow in here just slightly. How do we do that, you might want to know? We have to offset the X value, and I believe we'll have to offset it by 2 pixels, because that's our blur distance. And it would appear as if I was right, except I would like to offset our Y just a bit more. So let's go in here and we'll offset our Y by 3. We'll refresh, and we'll see, that's much better, isn't it? So now we see this kind of looks concave, but it's still continuing. So I'm going to actually want to remove this and just make it the background color, and then a box shadow as well. So we'll get to work on that right now. Yes. Okay. So to continue our illusion, we'll have to go in here, paste it here, except we need to move the Y by -3 pixels now, which will pull it up. So that did not work. Oh, I know why. Cut this. I accidentally put in the LI of the ULs. It needs to be directly in the UL. So now when we refresh this, actually I still messed up partly, but it's starting to look better. Starting to. Just one more thing. We need to move this, cut it real quick, all of this, and then delete the entire line. Remember, we have a box shadow for this element already. In box shadow, you can only have more than one box shadow at a time if it's all within the same property. Because the way CSS works is we're really giving this properties. If we use another property with the same name, then the ladder of that property will always be the property that it uses. So now when we refresh this, it'll look much better. It'll actually go with what we wanted. See? And now it looks perfect, doesn't it? Yeah, it really does. Goes exactly with what we wanted. And now we're getting the illusion we desired. Except, actually, we're missing one thing. Down here at the very bottom, we don't want that. We don't want that to be black, because if you think of it, light's actually going to be hitting there with our illusion, right? So we have to go in here, and we have to find a way to make it not appear at all. And we can do that usually by -2 pixels here. And we'll see how that works. Well, it didn't really work too well. So let's just try -0 pixels. And you guys might be like, how's -0 going to do anything? But if you see, it's actually doing a lot. -0 pixels somehow does actually change things, even though it's the same as saying 0, mathematically. So now we see at the bottom it's a much more faint black. And that black is actually, it makes things look like they're standing out more. So that actually works perfectly well for us. Now on to what I was going to do. And I know this is continuing with box shadows, everybody. And I apologize. Box shadows were not supposed to be the topic for many tutorials, but like I said, CSS and HTML can be very, very repetitive. And this is a web design course. So I'm teaching you guys how to make a website look sort of unified. Now granted, this is not the best looking website ever, but I can't make that, and I'm not honestly that great at design because I'm no artist. But if you're an artist, then all you need now is to learn how to do this, to put your artistry into work for you. Why are we getting an error? Oh, none is now a padding value. Too bad. Anyway. No, actually, where is this padding? None. Control padding. I'm searching for padding. There's padding. None. Okay, we need to change this to padding 0 so that we don't actually mess up browsers. Because for all I know, Firefox might just be ignoring this, but some other browser that some of you may be using may be doing that. Anyway, back to what we were about to do. Find our wrapper. Where's our wrapper? There's our wrapper. And we'll add the property, the CSS3 property of box shadow. Remember, it's a property, meaning the ladder is used. We're just going to apply 0, 0 for the offsets, 2 pixels for the blur, 0 actually we'll probably need 4 pixels for the blur, 0 for the whatever black for the color. We'll refresh, and actually that's still not exactly apparent enough, so we'll actually change this to 1 pixel, and we'll see how that works. Slightly more apparent. It definitely makes it look like it's coming off the page more. Now when we scroll to the bottom, yeah, it looks great. So, now we're getting our website to look more unified. It doesn't look perfect yet, but I see a slight error here, slight problem, which we'll fix right now. Go back to our nav LIUL and change this y to be -1. And that should fix all of our problems here. It does. Actually, it doesn't. So we need that to remain at -2, which kind of is bad, because it kind of defeats our purpose of something here. -5, or -2. See, that's starting to defeat the purpose of something. Whoa! Our padding 0 changed a lot for us there. So actually, I liked it better when we had padding. So where was our padding 0 put? I think it was right here. So if we remove that, and now it's back to the original padding. That is much nicer, isn't it? So we're losing sort of our effect in order to fix something. That's not good. So I guess we will have to sort of deal with a slight error in order to oh wait, that's not going to be the only thing we have to fix. We have to change that to a -0, and it's giving us just a slight problem, but you know, that isn't too terrible. So yes, okay, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like or dislike button corresponding to how you felt about this video. And I will catch you guys later.